Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be discussing today the new rules that just came out of Customs Enforcement regarding international students on F visas and M visas. If that is you, then you want to make sure you watch this video because I'm going to break it down for you so you know exactly where you stand, if you can stay in the country or if you have to leave. Hi, I'm Andrea Shev, and I'm the managing attorney at Shev Law Group in Los Angeles, California. I've been doing immigration for almost 20 years, and I put together these videos to give you concise, reliable information on all types of immigration issues and news. If you haven't subscribed already, or if this is the first time that you're joining me, please don't forget to subscribe. Hit that button right now, right below this video, and don't forget to hit that bell right next to it so you make sure you don't miss any videos that come out on a weekly basis or more. Okay, let's just get into it. So who is affected by these new rules? Well, anyone who has an F visa or M visa, or who is waiting outside the United States to get an F visa or M visa is affected by these rules for fall 2020 semester. The ones that are directly affected immediately and that are the most drastically affected are those that are in the United States in schools, enrolled in schools or universities or programs that have gone 100% online. So if you are currently enrolled in a school that plans to go 100% online in fall 2020, you are going to be forced to leave the country. And if you're outside the country, you're not going to be able to come in unless you can manage to transfer to another university or school and that program does not have 100% online courses. Terrible situation. Now, other people that are affected by this are people that are in programs or schools or universities that have a hybrid program. So if you're in a hybrid program, meaning that your school decided to do some in-person classes and some classes online, then the school has to certify on a new I-20 that one, that the program is not 100% online, that you will not be taking classes 100% online, and that you will be taking the minimum amount of classes required to make normal progress in your degree. Okay, so they must do that if they're going to do a hybrid program. Now, what if the program you're in right now is going to be normal and everything's fine and nothing's changed at all and everything's the same? Well, in that case, then you just fall under the old rules, right? The old rule is that you can go to a university, stay in the program, and you can only take one online course or a maximum 3 units a semester. So just realize that if everything is the same, you're still then limited to one online course or one or maximum 3 units of online courses per semester. Okay. Now, the other question is, what if I'm in a university or school that all of a sudden changes mid-semester? Like all of a sudden they're like, oh, now we have to go to online courses. Well, if that's the case, then you're in the same situation as you would have been at the very beginning, meaning that you're going to probably have to leave the country if they go 100% online, or you can transfer to another school if you can that doesn't have 100% online courses. If they go hybrid, it's the same rules as before too, meaning that they'll have to then certify on a new I-20 that it's not going to be 100% online courses, that you are not going to be taking 100% online courses, and that you'll continue to take the minimum online courses or classes required to make normal progress in your degree. Okay, so basically, if you're in the United States, in any of those situations and there's a move towards online courses, depending if it's 100% or hybrid, would determine what you have to do. But no matter what, you're going to be affected by it, unfortunately. And you really need to be careful with this because the universities and schools are required to file new I-20s for every single international student. So you are going to be having a new I-20 issued, and they're going to have to notate in SEVIS exactly what their programs are. And there's strict deadlines for the universities for this programs. Okay, super important to note. If you are on an F-1 visa for an English language program or an M-1 visa, you cannot take any online courses. So if the program that you're attending says that you must take one online course, then you're going to be forced to leave the country. You cannot take any online courses if you're under an F-1 visa for an English language program or an M-1 visa. Super important to make note of. Now, what happens when I'm outside the country? I mentioned it before, but let me kind of go into it a little bit more detail. If you're outside the country, you're not in the country yet, then you're going to have to make sure that you have a current I-20 that has the notation that's required under these rules. And you can see if you have a program in the United States that falls under either the hybrid or everything's the same and nothing's changed, then likely you'll be able to get that F visa or M visa issued and you'll be able to come into the country. But you will not be able to come into the country if it's a 100% online program or it's a program that doesn't fall under one of the categories that we already talked about. You just either, if you already have the visa, you won't be let in at the border, and if you're applying at the consulate, they won't issue you the visa. So it's a very difficult situation if you're outside the country, and even more so if you're in the country. Now, if you're in the country and you decide to leave, or if you're outside the country and you're already enrolled in the program in SEVIS, you're allowed to stay enrolled in that program and attend outside the country the online classes. You just have to make sure that your university informs SEVIS or puts into the SEVIS system that you are enrolled still and you are performing those online courses outside the country in your home country. Okay, so they must notify that you are outside the country taking those online courses. Okay, so that's the rules, but I wouldn't be able to do this video without putting in my 2 cents about how this is going to affect not only the international students, but also the US citizen students and also the US universities. We have to step back for a moment and see how much revenue that international students bring into the United States. It's estimated at $41 billion is brought in by international students studying here. That's through tuition, rent, and just overall consumerism in the United States. Now, if we send all that money out the window, what does that mean for our US citizen students that are sitting in US universities? Well, a lot of that funding goes to provide for programs and services that are at the universities. So if you remove that revenue, you're going to reduce likely the services and programs that are provided at the universities to our US citizen students. A direct effect. Now, also, a lot of people are probably thinking, well, what's the big deal? They can just go study abroad. I mean, what's the difference if they're here quarantined or stay home safe in their apartment in the United States? What's the difference between their apartment in the United States and their apartment wherever they were coming from? Well, there's a big difference because one, just on the basics, time zone. I mean, depending where they are in the world, they might have to be waking up at 2:30 in the morning to take a class at Harvard because of the time changes, because of the time zone differences. What about also, internet access or access to required services or providers that they might not even be able to access in the country where they're coming from? Not every country has access to the same services and providers that we have in the United States. So if the professor is asking them to do something on G Suite and they can't even access it, what does it do for them? Also, what if their internet access is not the same? So they're paying thousands and thousands of dollars to attend universities in the United States. They're sitting at home in their country of origin, and maybe they don't have the same speeds of access to internet. So then they're watching maybe shoddy, internet lecture where they're paying thousands of dollars to do that. I don't think that's fair, and I don't think that's right. It's ridiculous. So the international students will definitely suffer, but definitely the U.S. citizen students will also suffer. Also, not only just through the programs and everything that they're going to lose probably because of the lack of revenue, but also the interaction that our U.S. citizen students get by interacting with students from all over the world. How priceless is that? And how important is that to the overall growth of our economy and our culture in the United States to have access to students from all over the world? It changes the dynamic of lectures at universities across the United States when you have perspectives that are not just from the United States, but perspectives from all over the world. I cannot tell you how critical and priceless and important and central it is to our education system, especially at the university level. Also, we have to look at the health situations that come into effect. By putting these rules in place, it puts universities in a really difficult position, because what if they wanted to do all 100% online just to be safe, and now they feel pressure maybe to do more of a hybrid, so maybe they didn't want to, or maybe it was not maybe the safest thing to do a hybrid program, but they're going to do it anyway in order to not lose their international students? That's not really smart, is it? And also, what happens if there's a student that feels, an international student that has maybe health situation or health concerns, and they can't attend in-person lectures, and now they're going to be forced to attend in-person lectures, because if not, they're going to be sent home. So it's just across the board, it's just not a good situation. Okay, I hope this video was helpful, and please, if you have any other questions or you want clarification on anything, or anything's bothering you, or you have any comments that you want to say with regard to this, don't be afraid to just write those comments below this video. I read them all, I promise you, and I answer as many as I can, and if I can't answer them, I will try my hardest to get the information I need to answer them for you, because I understand this is a very difficult time, very stressful for a lot of individuals in this country. So please let me help you. Put the comments below and I will do my very best to keep you posted. If there is any other updates, I'm sure there will be in the coming weeks, any clarifications by ICE, I will definitely probably be doing other videos, or I will be making notations down below this video. Please stay tuned. More importantly, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any other videos that come out about this topic or many, many other topics that are super important right now, especially during everything going on in immigration and the world of immigration. But please stay safe, more important than everything. Good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And I really look forward to talking to you next time.